So we all know of the amazing G.I. Joe classified figures that are coming our way. This video isn't about them. This video is going to ruffle a few feathers and there might be some angry collectors in the comments. Make sure you voice your opinions on what was said and let me know if I was right or wrong in the comment section below. Also, make sure you think about subscribing so you don't miss out on any more fun videos like this one in the future. Let's jump into it. Worst G.I. Joe classified figures ever. Let's go. First up, GungHo. So GungHo was an early release in the series and I think many fans can agree he was a disappointment, especially when he was sort of caught between the early Fortnite look and the switch to the more real American hero look. Overall, he's just horrible as he has this bland look, and often if people are selling their figures, he's always one you can find for cheap. That being said, I still don't have one of these in my own collection. Maybe someday. Hasbro actually tried to correct this not once but twice by releasing an updated figure with new colorings and then by releasing the traditional retro version. However, I do still feel he isn't perfect. Next up, Cobra Island Roadblock. There is really nothing wrong with this Roadblock figure, it's just he came out when we already had a ton of Roadblocks early in the series. Hasbro really missed an opportunity, and maybe because there were so many Roadblocks planned, they should have considered naming him Heavy Duty instead. I don't know about your area, but this figure was clogging up the shelves long after the Cobra Island series had passed its time on the shelf. Next up, Covergirl. So I have no love for this Covergirl as she was included in one of the first waves of the figures that were being shipped in the new windowless packaging. Not that it's her fault, it's just she didn't have anything going for her. The artwork on the front of the packaging is kind of hideous, and much like Falcon, I'm not really a fan of her head sculpt. I've seen many people replace her head with alternates, which seems to brighten up the figure immensely. However, I don't think you should have to make such a drastic replacement on new figures, so this has put her in the sin bin of worst classified figures ever. Next up, we have Falcon. This wave seemed to be cursed. I'm not sure who is working the head sculpts this week. Falcon and Covergirl were being made, but damn, once again, there have been so many posts on social media showcasing that this is the worst head sculpt ever. And I have to agree with them. It's horrible. Not much else to say about this, but I would consider this the all-time worst G.I. Joe classified figure at the time of this posting. Also, is it just me, or does it look like he has lipstick on? Next up, the Blue Ninja 2-pack. So as an Real American Hero fan, I have a bit of an issue with non-canon figures. I can't help it. I think it's bad enough that we saw the Red Ninja released in the first wave of the series when you stop to think of how many characters they could have used instead. Now this Blue Ninja 2-pack, which was exclusive to Amazon, is such a miss. Who wanted this? I just think the female ninja doesn't really do anything for the series, and just overall, it's like they just created this set to say they had an exclusive with no thought put to it. It was a huge miss. Originally, I was going to limit this video to a top 5 video, but figured I might as well air out all my most hated figures now and get it over with. So let's continue. Next up is Kamakura. Another Amazon exclusive, another miss. Kamakura falls in this weird spot for me. He isn't a character I'm too familiar with, as he is primarily showcased in the modern comics. There isn't anything too terrible about this figure. However, he's a clear example of a lazy repaint, as he is clearly a repaint from the Storm Shadow mold. For that reason, I could care less about him. Throw in the aspect that he was another character from the initial windowless packaging offering. Oh, and I forgot to mention, at the time of release, he had an extra cost to him as well in the form of a price hike just because he was an exclusive. That's 3 strikes and you're out of here. Next up, Dusty. I'm not sure how people are going to feel about this one, but I have to say I wasn't impressed with Dusty. Mainly for the reason that his tooling seemed to give him this knockoff Duke look and feel to him. His paint apps are just really bland and he has no pop to him. As of writing this, Tiger Force Dusty is leaking all over social, and I have to say he doesn't look much better. The box art for the Tiger Force one looks like it should be found on a dollar store figure. I personally picked up Dusty, but I wasn't happy with him, and I only did it because I was worried I'd potentially miss him at a later date. Now, I would be amiss if I didn't include the whole movie figure line in this video. It's not often in these list videos I mention a whole sub-series, but I think every classified fan out there would agree that the movie figures were a huge waste of time and energy. The movie was horrible, and the figures were the major cause of a distribution issue. These figures clogged up shelves everywhere and were one of the reasons no new stock was showing up on shelves, as stores wouldn't order replacements until this stock moved. These figures were such a disappointment, and I feel bad for all the series collectors out there that had to add these to their collection just so they would have the whole numbered series. Overall, the G.I. Joe Classified series has been an amazing line, and the design team has been hitting it out of the park. Every announcement has fans going wild and always wanting more. One can only hope that there will be more great figures on the way, and we will see fewer of these misses we see here. New to the series and want to see some of those bangers we're all alluding to? Check out this video next. We're posting videos and shorts weekly. Continue with us, check out the next video, and come back and watch more. See you in the next one.